right, I'd like to call this meeting of the West Dallas West Milwaukee School District to order, please. If we can please rise and do the pledge. And Mr. Schultz, would you please lead us?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all very much. Our new AV is working. It's very loud and clear and crisp. It's wonderful. All right, if we do the roll call, please.
Yes. Mr. Sikich?
Present.
Mr. Schultz?
Present.
Mr. Lee?
Here.
Mr. Ustra?
Here.
Mrs. Justum? I believe she should be arriving soon. Ms. Klug? Here. Mr. Bailey?
Present.
Mr. Keller is excused. And President Emmons.
Here. Proper notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the open meeting laws of the state of Wisconsin. We have additions or modifications to tonight's agenda.
Yes, we'd like to move the board workshop that was scheduled for the financial stability and efficiency, the facilities plan update, to next week and host it at the rec center, where there's a scheduled tour for the board next week, Monday. So just to follow that tour with the meeting and just change the location to there so that we're not trying to travel back and forth, and yet we can do that next week.
And then we're only a week behind as opposed to waiting to the next scheduled meeting in 2 weeks. So we're going to keep the program moving forward. So,
Fine.
are there any other additions or modifications to tonight's agenda? Okay, then we will go on to public comments for the evening. All right, and then we will move on to item 7, superintendent's report.
Okay, so we'll start tonight with the report from the James E. Datke High School student representatives. Welcome.
Hi, my name is Nadia. I'm thankful to be here today. So starting off, I'm going to read off right here, and I want to say thank you so much for having us here tonight and being able to share the exciting things going on at Datke High School. I'd like to tell you about the things that have been going on since our last school board share out last year. Datke was fortunate enough to be selected as one of only 2 schools in WAWM to take part in the GE Healthcare Community Service Day on August 21st. 170 GE Healthcare employees, that's right, 170 showed up to help us rebrand our new project-based learning school and make the old Lincoln building our own. Projects completed that day include general landscaping, creating an outdoor classroom including wooden benches, moving our entire library, creating a mindful and collaborative space, painting the floor in our market space called the studio, building and painting school signs for the gym, a dozen or more inspirational quotes on the wall, painting the hallways on all the 3rd floors, painting our entire auditorium, creating a sound and video recording studio, developing a place for students to play chess, office organization, connecting a 3D printer that GE donated to us, and a few murals. A very powerful fact that Mr. Gels wanted me to share is that over 90% of the staff gave up their last day of summer vacation to participate in this exciting, game-changing day for Datke High School. We hope you'll all come visit and see the changes that were made.
Hello, my name is Dion Wright. I'm a senior at Datke High School. Other changes or additions that has been made in our school could be seen with the start of the new year. First, we now have a sound and video recording studio called The Nest. The Nest allows students to show their learning through recording video, a poem, a song, or rap, and someday even a podcast. Students are also encouraged to just come to The Nest and jam on the guitars, drums, keyboards, or other instruments found there. Second, a new creative space we call the Loft was created on the 3rd floor. Similar to the studio space on the 1st floor, it will be another makerspace type area for students to learn and create. The room is not yet completed on purpose, as Mr. McCarthy is guiding the process of having students design the space and fill it with the tools they need to complete their work.
In 3rd, our school has changed to a block schedule format, which allows students more time to dig deeper into the content and also work on projects. It has taken some time getting used to for staff and students, but the change has been a good one for Datke, and makes more sense with the deeper learning we are doing as a school. Lastly, we have our change lunch period to be more flexible for students. Instead of 2 separate lunches, we now have what we call Flex 40, which is 40 minutes in the middle of the day that offers students choices on what to do with their time, besides grabbing a bite to eat from the cafeteria and being allowed to use any space in the entire school to eat and socialize. Students can choose to participate in clubs and activities like working on a passion project in the studio, jamming in the nest, hanging with friends in the VIP lounge, science club, guitar club, open gym, playing chess, putting puzzles together, connecting with staff, and more. And coming soon will be yoga, which I will be partaking in. It's been cool to have the freedom to make our own choices during Flex 40. This freedom is perfect. This freedom is a perfect example of another focus at Daki this year, which is treating students like adults by trusting them and giving them choices. It's been really great.
There's more cool news. Many of the cool changes and additions that were highlighted in the It's Your City section of the West Dallas Winter Spring edition of the West Dallas magazine. Mr. Gals reached out to the editor and invited them to come to our school to consider doing a story on Daki. Daki's transforming to a project-based school. The visit went very well, and the author of the articles was very excited to take us on as one of the highlighted stories in the magazine. The article was just printed and released last week. Look for it in your mailboxes at home and businesses in the city. One gets mailed to them. Also, we have copies here tonight for anyone that would like to come.
One of the exciting projects that was mentioned in the upcoming magazine article, as well as a recent school district newsletter, is Daki's section by Learn Deep Milwaukee to take part in the Milwaukee Zoo Train project. We have a group of 10 core students who are working on that project, but we're also having other classes on assignments. We're also having other classes work on assignments or tasks that we bring back from the brainstorming or tour sessions. Mr. McCarthy is leading this project and has been posting things on our @Daki PBL Twitter account. The project involves working on brainstorming and designing improvements to the coal bin storage and coal loading process for the zoo train. The students have already met with WAWM engineering on campus to develop a background on the zoo as a way to get students to see on-site how things actually operate on the zoo train, and the We Energy's Oak Creek Power Plant to learn how they process and handle the transportation of coal. Other community-based field trips coming next are those to the MSOE and Marquette engineering departments, and then a return trip to the zoo site. School teams will work on the design brief provided by Learn Deep and develop a suggested plan to improve the coal bin process. It's been super exciting for Mr. McCarthy and the 10 students assigned to the project.
We have continued the partnership we started last year with the senior living facility in the library square. During the summer, our summer school classes travel there weekly to assist the building projects that help meet other needs around the property as part of the summer school curriculum. We are excited to have additional students working with the staff members in a variety of areas, such as marketing, event planning, and coordination, food services, maintenance, and even the nursing department.
Two other cool new additions to our school and how it runs are restorative conferences and empathy interviews. With our new block scheduling in place, it allowed us the opportunity to implement other new activities, like the Flex 40 that we mentioned earlier. We now have enough staff trained in restorative practices to allow us to offer the ability to run restorative conferences with students and staff in every class period of the day. So if there's a situation where harm was caused anywhere in our school, we can have a facilitator run a conference so everyone involved has a voice, and we can repair the harm and move on. In addition to restorative conferences, we are also finding a lot of success by conducting empathy interviews with teachers and students. Every new student enrolled this year participated in an interview with a school staff member. The purpose was to identify what students wanted out of their high school experience so that staff can work to create an educational experience that better meets the needs and wants of students.
Members of the West Dallas Community Development Team reached out to the Daki students to create a design to have painted on a bench at the historical site at 76 and National. After the approval from the two city planning committees, the city administrator, a design was chosen, and after some further revisions, the bench will be delivered to the school to be refinished, painted, and presented back to the community. We are extremely excited and grateful for the opportunity.
Our school's focus on deeper learning has been really fun. One of the ways we get to show out that is through our product design and digital marketing class that we call the Design Lab. This class breaks down the deeper learning core areas and allows students to be creative in what they are producing. There is a lot of flexibility in what students are making, but the focus for the semester has been tabletop game design. Students in that class have been researching aspects of high-quality games and then using them with the design thinking process to create their own.
During the November 4th Teacher Professional Development Day, DACI hosted 4 sessions on a variety of deeper learning topics. 120 district staff worked on these 4 sessions that cover the topics such as co-teaching, project-based learning in math, and the design thinking process. Not only did attendees hear from DACI teachers, but they also got to see and hear from 12 students who came in to be a part of the day. Student volunteers answered questions, explained projects they were working on, and gave building tours.
So thank you for allowing us to come tonight and tell you all about the exciting things going on at our school. Don't forget, we have our Thanksgiving meal coming up on Tuesday, November 26th. You should all have received your invitations. We hope to see you there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, great update. Great to do the next one.
So as normal, thank you again. You guys are welcome to stick around for the rest of the meeting, but you don't have to.
Do you guys have any questions today?
I just want to say, it's great to see good things happen at DACI. I know Mr. Gels, I went to high school with him, so it's really cool to see a former West Al's student come back and lead. Oh, there he is. Come back and lead. I really love that. And that's what we're hoping to continue to have happen. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks. So on to legislative updates, and tonight there are no state or federal updates, so that's a pretty simple one. Our district recognitions, so we have a couple from Shared Journeys. Recently, the Rotary Club gifted Shared Journeys with a $1,350 grant, so they are thankful for that. Jenny Salasinski received her child care license fundamentals in infant and toddler child care. Kaylee Breska, Lisa Kalla, and Jenny received child care certifications in Scream Your Theme and Saying Good. On October 17th, 2019, Shared Journeys hosted visitors from the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction. Officials toured the new site, visited the infant lab and the coffee kiosk, spoke with staff, the governing board, and current and former students. And just to add one to that, Lisa's also getting some early word that they may start to renew the Inspire grant, which is a chunk of how we fund the work that's done at Shared Journeys. So she will start to be sending out more information and be asking for words of support in that as we go forward. So I assured her that we would support that wholeheartedly. At West Milwaukee, a new teacher to our district, Gabrielle Peterson, received funding from Donors Choose for her classroom library furniture. Our innovation coach, Jen Statza, coordinated a visit from Millipore Sigma for students to learn about
I looked at Noah right away.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Chemiluminescence.
Thank you, Noah. I appreciate that one. I actually went to the lab and I still can't say the word, so in a lab setting. It is the emission of light during a chemical reaction which does not produce significant quantities of heat. So it was pretty amazing to watch the 8th graders all put that all together that day. And then 8th grade student Jacob Wood participated in a high school level math competition at Marquette University High School. From our communications department, special thanks to Nathan Hale, choir director, and stage manager Zach Beeksma for coordinating and installing a new sound system in our Board of Education room that we are all adjusting to, as I feel like it's giving me some feedback. We are grateful for his expertise. In the leadership and learning department, for the first time ever, we invited a teacher rep from each building to help us plan the district-wide professional development day, which was an exciting opportunity to open our doors. And as I shared in my board update, I think one of their first realizations is that it's more challenging to plan professional development for 500 and some odd people than they thought. But they were amazing, and they came several Mondays in a row, and then went back to buildings and got feedback from all teachers, and then brought it back, and we kept at the ideas until we had the ones that we felt were the best offerings for teachers for last Monday, and we've gotten a significant amount of really positive feedback from teachers who went out of their way to send emails or whatnot around what a good day it was for them. So that was new for us because we don't usually get that kind of feedback. But the people who participated in that team, so this list is long: Angela Gerlowski from Central, Ryan Lohberger and Bob Kinsey from Hale, Bernie McCarthy from Dotke, Jolene Luther from Frank Lloyd Wright, Sam Katz from Lane, Jen Stotza from West Milwaukee, Sarah Gutzweiler from Franklin, Katie Zenz from Irving, Margaret Gersten from Hoover, Mike Irwin from Jefferson, Sarah, Martz, she is from Longfellow and she does some work at Horace Mann, Tony Leal from Mitchell, Kristen Pegenhoff from Pershing, Miranda Pierce from Wilson, Pat Collins from Walker, Cassie Nymphius from Madison, and then our curricular leads also participated. So Ryan Hammerneck was there to represent physical education, Mary Pat Michaels was there to represent music, Jessica Catarazzi, and she shares that role in science with Jen Stotza, Lisa Erickson, and Katie Robertson, whose name is not on the list, but they share social studies, and she was a part of things. Mary Washbush does English language arts, and then Matt Lesser and Donna Krasovich share math. So they were also a part of planning for that day. In Recreation and Community Services, congrats to Corey Thompson for securing $1,700 in program sponsorship funds from Noodles and Company for fall recreation youth sports leagues. And in Sodexo, congratulations to Chef George for being selected to demonstrate his skills at the Sodexo Midwest Conference for general managers in New Buffalo, Michigan. So I think that is the end of the district-wide recognitions this time.
Any other updates or information items from the superintendent's report?
Nope,
All
not
right, we can
tonight.
table that for next time. Great. We move on to item 8, board president's report. Take a look at the board calendar. So tonight, in November 11th, we have a regular Board of Education meeting, and as we noted earlier, we will be postponing our workshop for 1 week. And then next Monday, November 18th, starting at 6 o'clock, we will be doing a walkthrough with C.G. Schmidt at the Recreation Construction Site. We will be meeting at 2450 South 68th Street, and then immediately following that, we will do the workshop on the facility planning update inside the building. And then on Monday, November 25th at 6 o'clock, we have a regular Board of Education meeting. Do any board members have any community updates or events? Just a couple things. You guys did get an invite for the Breakfast of Thanksgiving, so if you are interested in attending that, there was a link to register and buy your tickets there, or there's a form that can be filled out as well. Also, Tuck Everlasting is going to be presented by the high schools. That will be at West Dallas Central starting this coming weekend. I believe they have shows Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then the following weekend as well. And that you can find all over online and in the newsletters and everything else. So lots of yard signs all over the place as well. So hopefully people can get out and get that if they want to go see that. Okay, then we will move on to item 9, our consent agenda for the evening. There's 3 items. Item 9.1, the approval of minutes from the October 28th, 2019 regular Board of Education meeting. Item 9.2, the employment summary. And item 9.3, the supplementary contracts. Does anyone need anything separated? If not, we'd be looking for a motion.
Move to approve the consent agenda. Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any additional comments or questions? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that is the end of the meeting today, so we would then look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any last comments? Otherwise, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Noted. Noted.
Let's just stick around for a while.
I know, it kind of abbreviated tonight. Well, thank you all very much. Get home safely, stay warm.